Hi, we're Joel and Nia.
And this video is things Britain does better than America.
Kicking it straight off, I think we're going to say one thing that the UK does better than America is healthcare.
Yeah, definitely.
We've done a video on the NHS.
Yeah, we'll link that up in the cards. I think we go into much more detail there than we will here, but I don't think anyone can fault the NHS. Yeah, there are bad things about it, but not so bad that it's worth paying ridiculous health insurance.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I just can't believe it. If you get critically ill, then potentially you could lose everything.
Yeah.
That's mental.
And pay thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
But there'll be people that disagree. People think that, like, loads of people commented saying that healthcare is a luxury, not a right. And I'm like, are you joking? Like, that's terrible to say that, like, it should be a luxury.
Yeah, and I saw our friend Hannah Witten had got ill recently, and she got looked after by the NHS. And someone replied to her in a tweet saying, like, yeah, well, because you're a good customer. And she replied saying, I'm not a customer, I'm a patient.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like, I was like, yeah, damn right.
It's so
because
true.
Customer, like, of course, but that's how they feel. They feel like they're paying for a service, a healthcare service.
Exactly. And it shouldn't be that. I do think it's like us as a country and as a government and as, we're all looking after each other. It shouldn't be like the rich get to afford healthcare and the poor are just left to like die. And like loads of people that can't afford healthcare in America just don't go to the doctor because they're scared of being charged money for little problems.
Really?
Like, it's ridiculous.
And just tiny things.
Yeah, tiny things.
Gosh. And probably the dentist too.
Yeah,
that probably costs a lot.
But yeah, that's the first one.
Okay. Keeping this up.
Keeping it light.
If you are enjoying this content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Keeping it light. Keep that ball in the air.
Keep it light.
Keep it light.
So let's make it really light. The things that the UK does better than America is roundabouts.
Why?
Oh my gosh. In America, they don't really have roundabouts. If they do, they call them road circles. But mainly... I knew you'd find that hilarious. But mainly they have like...
It's a circle in the road.
A circle in the road, so it's a road circle. But then they would think ours is weird. Roundabout. It sounds like a children like roundabout. Yeah, on the roundabout.
No, roundabouts are serious, and honestly, when they're big, they can be
terrifying.
Tense. Yeah.
I mean, they are scary and hard to navigate, but like in America, you just have stop signs and like intersections. Do you call them?
Oh,
but,
like a crossroad.
Yeah.
Meet you at the crossroads.
And it's just confusing because it's like, how do you know who? I think you've got to be aware of who comes up to the stop sign first, and then you're like, okay, I go. Whereas on the roundabout, you know that you give way to the right.
Give way.
Yeah.
Give way, and if you've got enough time, go.
Yeah.
Just gauge it. Unless it's it's a roundabout with lights.
Yeah.
They're the best ones.
Yeah, because then you don't have to
have to take a risk. You're just like, it's my turn. Ones.
But it keeps the traffic flowing. It's great.
It's fantastic.
Get yourself some more roundabouts, America. Sorry, road circles.
Get some road circles. So the next thing we do better is the news.
Yeah.
So we've got BBC News, which is probably a little bit like your equivalent of Fox News.
Maybe. Well, no, Fox News is really right wing. This is the thing. I think this is the reason we probably do it better is because like Fox News is super right wing, and like then you've got CNN maybe that's like slightly more left wing, and it's like the BBC is completely unbiased and they just present the news.
They present the facts.
Yeah.
And nothing more.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like the anchors, I think they call them news anchors, always have opinions, and I think they do the same in Australia. Like they will have opinions and state the news with their opinion on it, and I'm like, you shouldn't do that. A journalist should be unbiased and just present information regardless of their views. I think
certainly on the BBC, and then a lot of the other news channels as well. The ITV News, they just say the news.
Yeah,
they don't say like and their opinion on it. Never ever. They're trained not to.
Yeah, they are.
That's mad.
It's crazy. I remember in Australia one guy that had this massive house party, and then he was being interviewed on the news by this Australian news anchor, and she was basically telling him off and being like, and do you think that was wise? Do you think that was clever of you to do that? Are you going to apologise? We deserve an apology. And I was like...
And she raised her voice.
Yeah, she raised her voice at him. And I was like, whoa.
Your parents were out of town. You put out the invitation. You started it. Why don't you make a grown-up decision now and accept responsibility, take off those glasses and apologise to everybody that you frightened, to the police who were forced to retreat and whose cars have been damaged, and to the community who've had to pay for this? Take off your glasses and apologise to us.
I'll say sorry, but I'm not taking off my glasses.
You're pretty happy with the way you look and the attitude you've got, are you? Well, we've got to go, but I suggest you go away and take a good, long, hard look at yourself.
In Britain, they'd just be like, did you have fun at the party?
Yeah,
Like,
Holly Willoughby
Yeah.
and like Philip Schofield would probably ask a few questions that might be prompting, but they would never,
No.
like, they try really hard not to put across their own
yeah.
opinion, even if they're interviewing like a murderer.
Yeah.
Even if they're interviewing like someone who's horrible,
Oh,
like
definitely.
Katie Hopkins,
Yeah.
they'll just be
Ugh.
like, why do you think that?
Yeah.
They'll just really sort of,
They try to remain impartial.
yeah. I can't believe
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Which I think is why we would struggle if we ever became presenters on news, because we love our
we've got a personality
opinions.
channel,
Yeah.
and we're so like, this is what we think.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
could you imagine?
Terrible.
They were like, they give us our paper at the start of the day, and
We're
we're
like,
like, you're saying that bit.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, you are.
You're
I'm
so-
gonna laugh.
I know. It'll be so funny.
Imagine us on the news.
It'd be great with our papers.
I can't wait for that.
Me neither. So the next thing the UK does better than America is accurate price tags. I find this so difficult when I go to America. I go to a clothes shop, pick out my clothes. I'm like, I've tossed it up in my head. I'm like, oh, that's $50.
Yeah.
Go to the checkout and they're like, that's $62.50. And I'm like,
You're like, where have you got that from?
where have you picked that figure from?
It means it's really hard to add up your items.
it is.
I'm in the changing room and I'm picking stuff and I'm like, okay, this is £12. Next thing, this is £20. And I know I need £80 by the time I get to the checkout.
Yeah.
And usually I've rounded it a little bit up, so I'm always a little bit. So they're like, it's 76, and I'm like, oh. But to go there and be like, what? You've added VAT?
I know.
Are you joking?
Yeah, you've added sales tax to it, which I think we've mentioned this before, and some Americans say it's very state by state. So some states don't have sales tax, which well done you.
Well
but
done.
those ones that
So-
do have sales tax, it's just confusing.
I was about to say something that was so offensive. I was
What?
like, thank you to the sheriff for
Thanks
not
to the
for not
sheriff.
putting sales tax.
I don't know who's in charge of sales tax.
Oh my gosh. And the last thing that Brits do better, I mean, this is going to sound so up my own hoo-ha, it's literature.
Literature.
It's books.
Yeah.
Bedtime reading.
No, it's true.
Chaucer. Shakespeare.
Yeah. Shakespeare, Agatha Christie.
Famous. Infamous.
Yeah. J.K. Rowling.
Oh.
The person who wrote Lord of the Rings, Tolkien.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read Lord of the Rings.
No.
Sorry. Every time I started to read it, they spoke so much about food, it just made me really hungry. Honestly, like, if you open up the first Lord of the Rings, they start talking about food and you're just like,
I can't continue.
Stop,
Stop, I'm
I want
hungry.
food. If they spoke about pudding, you wouldn't have been able to continue.
no, I couldn't. No.
Yeah.
No. Charles Dickens.
Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
basically, we know that America's probably got some fantastic writers like Hemingway, great writer, very simple storytelling. But we think Brits do literature best, so that's what we do.
So go and leave your hate comments down below if you disagree on any of these points,
Disagree.
which I'm sure most of you do. We have done a video the other way round, so things the US does better than Britain.
We like to keep the balance.
We like to keep the balance, and we're not so arrogant as to think the UK is the best country in the world.
No.
So we know that we've got room to improve as well, and America does do some amazing stuff that is better than us. So go check out that video as well.
And if you like what we're wearing, we've linked that up in the end card, so you can just wear what we wear.
Yeah,
if
you can
want
be your
to.
own Joel and Leah.
Yeah. I love this top, to be
Although
fair.
I probably wouldn't wear this if I went to Miami. I wouldn't wear this.
No, it's like if you wore a top that said London.
Oh,
Oh my god,
No,
awful.
never.
It's just like you can't wear a top of the city you live in.
No, you can't. Otherwise, it's just like no,
Yeah.
no.
Like, I was in H&M the other day and I saw a top and it was like New York, and my dad was like, get that, Leah, and I was like, no, because I'm not going to wear it around New York, am
know.
I? Because then I'll look like a tourist,
Yeah.
even though I am.
Even though I am a tourist.
I've already spoken about this in other videos. I was like, I hate looking like a tourist. Got so many comments in a vlog.
Yeah.
I was in Berlin and I was like, oh, I can't stand me on a tour bus. It's not my vibe.
Oh, right.
Open top tour bus. Sorry, this is a tangent.
We went on a tour as well, an art walking tour of London street art, and you were like, oh, people looking at us thinking we're tourists. I was like, are they? Well, I don't care.
I couldn't do it. I mean, I'm getting better, but
Yeah.
it bothers me.
Oh.
So yeah, maybe that's something Brits don't do as well as Americans. They're good at being tourists, aren't they?
Americans, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they love it. They wear their fanny packs and
Oh,
they
funny
have their
fact.
cameras around their neck. Yeah,
Oh,
they
I can
love
tell
it.
them from a mile off. We're going
Yeah.
to do another video on that. Another time.
Another time.
Thank you. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already a subscriber, and we'll see you next time.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
I thought you were going to burp then when you went
Bye.
bye.
No.